Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start the first test with our DI water here. We're going to add 10 drops to our first test tube using this dropper here. Okay. And then we're going to add 10 drops of this 3 molar sulfuric acid to the same test tube. Give it a quick stir. And then we're going to add 2 drops of the 0.01 molar potassium permanganate solution that I have here in this dropper bottle. And then we're going to give it a quick vortex. And this is how we perform our first one. And then I will go ahead and do the same for the rest of our solutions here. And then we'll see what they look like once the test is done. Alright, so I went ahead and mixed the Fehling A and Fehling B solutions and came up with this mixture. I transferred 1.5 milliliters into each of my test tubes here, again labeled 1 through 8 for our test reactions. And so I'm going to go ahead and add now 10 milliliters of my first solution, which is just DI water. This is our control. That one. Add propanone. And we may not see an immediate change, but we're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. And we're going to come back and see what they look like afterwards. So here's what it looks like immediately after mixing and vortexing. We'll come back and check in about 10 minutes to see what they look like. So this is after about 10 minutes of letting it sit, and we can tell there's a difference between our first control, number 1, DI water, versus 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create our Tollens test solution here. I'm going to add 10 milliliters of our 5% silver nitrate into this 50 milliliter beaker. And then I'm going to add 10 drops of this 3 molar sodium hydroxide solution. So I'm going to give this a little soft swirl here. We can see there's a tan color forming. And then I'm going to go ahead and add about 5 milliliters of this 6 molar ammonium hydroxide, but I'm going to add it dropwise as to form the solution appropriately. So I'll add a dropwise, swirl it, and then continue adding a little bit more and more. And we should start seeing the solution change a little again. And then we'll come back after I've added all the 5 milliliters to see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and now add our test to our Tollens solutions here that we have poured out already 1.5 milliliters into each test tube. I'm going to add 10 milliliters of my first one here, which is DI water. So much like the Fehling's test, we may not see an immediate reaction. So what we're going to do is, after adding our 5 drops to all of them, we're going to rubber band all the test tubes and put them into this hot, warm bath right here to let it heat up, and we'll let that sit there for a few minutes and we can see the reaction. We can see that after adding our test solutions here, some of them have precipitated, but what I'm going to do now is gather all of them together and I'm gonna rubber band them all. That way they all stay together here. And I'm gonna add them to a little hot water bath here. And we'll let that sit there for a few minutes, and that way we can see what it looks like after. Right, so this is after about 5 to 10 minutes in the water bath here. We can see a few of these have really given us that mirror effect on the test tube versus some other ones that just changed colors.